Hello, today I'm going to be going over chapters 4 through 6 from the Fitterman book. The first question that I'm going to be answering is, how did these chapters make you feel and what emotions did they evoke? So for chapters 4 through 6, it made me feel sad and a bunch of doubt in the system. And it was also mind blowing for me because if we're like so advanced, why didn't we just find an interpreter, especially when giving instructions on when and how much of the medicine to take instead of drawing the sun and the moon in their face? It was frustrating that it took them a while to get an interpreter for Leah's mom to give her meds correctly. And that's like really important for people to take their meds correctly because it could change the results and everything, just how they were seeing results being changed in Leah's um, tests that they were running. And on top of not explaining how to give her meds correctly, um, they were wondering why her results not changing or why are they getting worse and stuff. Like, how are you gonna wonder why are they getting worse and stuff when at the beginning you didn't even explain it to her mom how to give her correctly? This is something new to her. Like, she doesn't come from a background like knowing about Western medicine. And on top of that, I really found it like sad too that a bunch of people, they were like making assumptions of what we do to the bodies or what the Western people do to the bodies, and like what they open it up and all that. Like, they have all these assumptions because they're undereducated. And if we were going to do something like for them or whatever, I feel like it would have been best if like we would answer questions for them and like make them feel comfortable, not just tell them, okay, we're gonna do this, do that, do this, and they're trying to like work with you, but it's hard for them because of one, their religion, culture, and what they know, or what they assume they know. And I feel like the first step should have been making them feel more comfortable in explaining the process or explaining the questions, or like getting their ideas set correctly and getting those ideations, that they had, those assumptions that they had, out of their head, because I feel like that scares them even more. Instead of helping them, they're like doubting, if you're really helping them. um I also, the second question I want to answer is, what scene resonated with me the most, and why? So on page 80 and 81, it said that the dad left for a couple, for a few hours to go to his house to get some rest. And when he came back, he saw his daughter with the big bump on his, the size of a goose egg. And I resonated with that so much because, as a child, I was in and out of hospitals and since I was born. So when I was younger, when I think I was 6 months old, around that, I went back to the hospital. And because my asthma, I've always had asthma since I was born. So whenever we went back, whenever I was at the hospital, they kept telling my mom, go get some rest, go get some rest, go get some rest. And um, my mom wouldn't. But one day, like after several months of me being in the hospital, one day she actually went to get some rest instead of just going to work. But when she came back, like the next day after work, she came back to see me. She saw my hands were really red because they had to put restraints on me since I was a baby. I didn't want to pull on all the tubes I had in me. So to stop me from pulling all the tubes I had in me, they had to restrain me, and those restraints were, you know, kind of tight. So my hands were all red and stuff. And my mom, when she got to see me, like that hurt her so much. And I don't want to imagine how her Leah's parent felt seeing a big bump on her head when she was good a few hours ago. So that's again with trust. Like, how are you gonna trust them if you just come back and you see your daughter like that? Oh, I really resonated with that because I feel like that's how my mom felt, in a way that you put your trust in your child in other people's hand, you come back and they're like that. So that was pretty sad and stuff. Thank you. You have a blessed day.